Good morning, everyone. This is the market update for Saturday, January 10th, and to say it was a volatile week would be an understatement. We, began the new year with a solid sell-off. The top was in, the bears were coming out of their cave, and on Wednesday and Thursday we had a dramatic reversal, 500-point up move. So, of course, on Friday, when it looks like everything is hunky-dory again, they whip the market back down, and this is where we ended the week. We've got a pretty solid support level on the Dow chart right now and a pretty definitive breakout level, 17.3 or 17.900, let's say 18K for the break of this recent area, and we've got support right now around 17,500. Now, I wanted to make a quick note of something here. You see here on the chart where I've got this support line, and early in the week we broke below it, but ended up bouncing right back up. Times have changed. Unless you've had your head stuck in the sand, robots pretty much dominate this market right now. There was an article out a few days ago stating how funds run by robots, by algorithms, by trading programs have outperformed human-based trading hedge funds by 2 to 1 in the last year. It's not really a surprise when they're pretty much able to game the system and do anything that they want and break every law that's out there and ones that they haven't even come up with yet. One thing to keep in mind when you're looking at support levels, especially in this day and age, is that computer programs, the robots, know that this is a support level right here. And they know that if it hits, it's going to trigger humans to sell. So usually what you'll see happen many, many times is breaks below support level, trigger stops, go a little bit lower, and then up they go. And you end up hearing that thing where, crap, I got stopped out and now they ran the market up. So in this day and age, you got to be a little bit more fluid when it comes to support levels on stocks and charts. And, if you stop out, doesn't mean you kick the stock to the curb. If it bounces back up again, you can always jump back into the stock. And I just wanted to throw that out there. Dow Transports found resistance at the 50-day moving average. Looking at the 15-minute chart, you get a better picture of this support level that I mentioned and resistance level right now. Actually, it looks like 17,900 is our set free point here on the Dow. Russell, we had a nice bounce back move. And, here's a tighter view. Just like everything else on Friday, we paused after that big bounce back, and we're going to decide, the market's going to decide what it wants to do next week. What sucks with this market recently is you have a sell-off, and it sends everyone to the sidelines. Then you have a big bounce back, but the bounce backs aren't like 50, 100, 125-point moves. They're like 300-point one-day move gap-ups. And the problem with that kind of bounce-back action is, while you had traders scared to buy because stocks were selling off, you have the exact same thing happen on the upside where they go, well, crap, the market's up 300 points. I'm not buying. And it kind of feeds on itself. So these large volatile moves that we've been seeing recently kind of suck. We need to get back to the boring action, especially for this time of the year, and that should set these small cap stocks off. Now, as I've been mentioning in the last couple of videos, January popper season usually kicks off in earnest in the second trading week of the year through the end of the month, and that is this week. We have seen a lot of speculative action in biotech stocks. That is fantastic. We've seen stocks with preclinical monkey trial news go up 100%, and when you see that kind of action in biotech stocks, it bodes very, very well for the small cap stocks because it means the speculative money is looking to get to work, and hopefully this week will really light it up. We've got a couple of big biotech conferences this week, the big one being the JP Morgan Bio Conference, and usually we can see a lot of momentum come out of these biotech conferences, especially this time of the year, so we're going to be focused on that area of the market at least in the next few days. But anyway, let's jump into some stock plays. I wanted to go over a couple of our large cap January popper, mid cap January popper plays. This was Loco, El Pollo Loco's chart that we talked about in the video a couple of weeks ago, how it had the classic tax loss selling action. Support ended up being 2031. So what did the robots do? Took it down to 1985 and then rallied it up 25%. Just going back to the point I made right at the start of the video. fat bounce back on this move. We were looking for a move to 24 to 27, so it got that 25 area. See what happens if on this dip back to the 20-day exponential. If this area holds, then the next bounce level will be a move to 27. So we want to see if this area holds in the next few days, and if we get a break up above, let's say 24.50, I would consider that a scalp buy for that move up to the 50-day moving average. And you could see some money come into this stock on the burger chain IPO, Shack Burgers or whatever it is that's coming supposedly in the near term, and that could drive money back into the likes of this stock. Speaking of biotech stocks, ACST, we've got phase 2 data expected at any time, and after the action we saw over the last few days, it's 60 cents. 61 cents is where they will come in and chase this stock. Now, if it breaks it without news, I'd actually prefer it to break it without news so that we could add to our positions on a push through that 61 level for a push up to the 200-day moving average at 82 cents. So that would give us 30% upside, additional upside on that breakout. If we get that positive news before the break, you could see a gap up pre-market to this level. So if you're looking for a place to stick some, partial sell orders on a potential news pop pre-market, that would be the area you'd be looking to play some 75, 82 cents on a partial position. Another biotech we jumped into on a Thursday was RGDO. And you can see, bad news biotech stock. Their only drug failed, but it's trading big time under cash. It's got $1.80 per share cash. 96 break is where this really gets interesting. $1 is where you'll see the Twitterati jump in. Target, at least first target, would be a bounce to 120. 86 cents is held like a champ so far in this new year, and this chart is getting very, very close to a break. So perhaps we could get that breakout on Monday. Big bio mover for us last week was ACUR. Already gave us a 40% move on this one, but I wanted to note something as well that I've been seeing a lot. This market right now, I'm not surprised, given the up and down volatility nature of it, but what we're seeing happening a lot is stocks get some volume, the robots come in, they scoop up everything, volume kind of dries off, it dips all the way back down, scares out the near-term traders, and then they push to new highs. And ACUR is a classic example of that. It had the news on Thursday, popped up, they shook everyone out, consolidated for most of the day on Friday, and looks like it could do a continuation move up to that 200-day moving average, over the next couple of weeks. So just something to keep a note of there. Big mover on Friday was Amco. Did a surprise reverse split Thursday night, 1 for 10. Stock opened at $1.19 or $1.90, which equates to 19 cents where it closed the day before, and traded as high as $2.60 before they pulled the rug out. Now, a lot of traders were unable to sell this stock. They had to call in, etc., transfer agents, etc., etc. That fed on the action and ended up closing way back down. But we've got a profitable 5 million float stock here that is definitely one to keep an eye on. This is going to be a nice, what's the word I'm looking for? Volatile trade opportunity going forward with the float size and the fact that it is over $1 now. OPTT has been very frustrating for us over the last couple of weeks on this January pop setup, but it's holding that double bottom support and it bounced nicely off it on Friday. We're still waiting for that 70-cent breakout with a target at least to the 50-day moving average at 87 cents. Now, even from this level, that's a 30% plus gain, which is sweet, with the potential for even more. Trades 50% under cash. The wave power plant that they're going to put off New Jersey, we could get that news at any time. And, when volume comes into this stock, it can really, really move. So that's what we're going to be looking for. They continue to screw around with it, but like the chart, double bottom on Friday, looks good for the upcoming week. The other large cap play I wanted to make a mention of, though, is SSYS. Now, while Loco worked out perfect, SSYS has not so far. Continues to get beat down. Options expiration is coming up next week. You could see a pushback. I don't think our call options are going to make it back in the money, but you know, you never know. This is a stock that when it does move, can move $20 really, really quickly. And DDD, which I think is SSYS, I believe, is the dominant player in this sector and the much better play. But DDD, 3D Systems, has actually put in a big bounce, a 10% bounce over the last couple of days, while SSYS has been lagging. So keep an eye on this one. We could see a solid push on this one this week, just based on what the other one in the sector is doing. On Friday, I had a trading alert. Unfortunately, wasn't able to send it out because the stock broke out as I was writing the email and getting ready to send a DCTH. Low float, awaiting FDA meeting news. Blew through $1.40. Waited to see if it would come back. It didn't. Traded as high as 160 plus. But again, classic chart setup in biotech land. I've got a couple of these potential setups for this upcoming week, so stay tuned. So that's it for the video, guys. I'm thinking this upcoming week we're going to be very, very aggressive. We're going to be trying a lot of things in this upcoming week. I think the small cap stocks are really going to outperform in 2015, and we should start to see that happen this week. So have an awesome weekend. See you all in the chat room on Monday. Bye.